Hello everyone, name is Andrew Tibbs. Welcome to another episode of My Horror. Here is my dear friend Josh. Josh, introduce yourself please.
I'm Josh.
That's it?
That's it.
Alright. We went ahead and just finished watching another movie off the list. It's directed by Takashi Miike. And you're going to have to forgive me because I'm having some nasal stuff go on. So right now I sound like Hootie and the Blowfish, but Takashi Miike, and it is called not Ichi the Killer.
Ichi
the Killer, okay? So, my Josh, this is one of my best friends. He likes to talk to me about a lot of horror films. It seems to be like a huge thing we have in common. What else do we actually have in common?
Nothing.
We're male. That's about it.
We have that.
He's got a redhead beard when it grows out.
Yep.
So, when he goes full Duck Dynasty, he goes full red. So, let's go ahead and do the sign. May you have the honors. Alright, and go! There you go. I don't know what else to do with that. Alright. So, we're gonna do our very best to talk about the plot of this movie. Ichi the Killer. I can't even remember who recommended it to me. Did you ever hear about this?
No, you didn't tell me the story of who recommended it.
Okay, I knew about Takashi Miike. I can't remember how many films he's done, but he's done I think he's done about 100.
It's been a lot.
100 movies in Japan. I don't think all of them are horror films either.
No.
He's done war films and stuff like that, but Audition is one of the biggest ones he's done. That's got some crazy crap in it. Then another one that I've seen, actually, this is one I've seen the most, it's called Imprint, and it's from the Masters of Horror. It's this anthology series that was created by Mick Garris, but it's got a lot of crazy stuff in it. Takashi Miike is not one to shy away from torture. He likes to get little shards and stick them in bad places.
Yeah, a lot of that in this movie.
Shoot, I know.
This is my first. This is my first time watching any of his movies, so it was very different.
Oh, man, what do you think? Do you think this is one I could show to the kids?
No.
No?
I wouldn't start there. Start more Nightmare on Elm Street, ruin their sleep that way.
And then I'll see what happens during therapy. Now, just because I wanted this movie, so we were talking about, it's actually based off of a manga or manga? Manga, is it?
Yes.
Okay, manga. And it's apparently a really famous one. And what did you read? It was a really loosely based off of the manga?
No, it was more of from the descriptions I've heard, it was more of a mashup. Okay. There was one thing a lot of people said is that it was a transition. A lot of the transitions, obviously, they went really kind of outlandish with the point of view and the music selections, but it was just a lot of plot put together, and then they introduced so many characters right off the bat, and they didn't get into any of the background of them, so they just had so many characters just all in one place, and they try to fit so much into one movie.
It felt like a cross between, have you seen Drive?
Yeah.
Okay, it felt like a cross between that and No Country for Old Men, in the sense that... Okay, and I'm trying to think of how to explain it. So do you want to start off that whole murder scene, the boss going missing, is kind of what is the T that sets up the ball for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, well, the introduction, they have a cleanup crew who is following around Ichi and cleaning up all of his murders.
Yes.
So that's how you get introduced to the brothers.
Yes. Okay.
And you still never see the boss in the whole movie.
No.
Not at all.
The boss, so the boss, and I think they're the Yakuza, this Japanese mob, right? Mm-hmm. And the boss goes missing, takes 300 million yen or something with him, and he takes a girl with him as well. And so one of his most loyal henchmen, who's also this really sadistic killer, is named Kakihara, I think. Yeah, Kakihara. And he has got piercings. A
lot of facial scarring.
Oh, boy. He's
apparently inflicted by his boss.
Oh, by his boss?
Yes.
Okay, so Beauty and the Beast is not the only part of Stockholm Syndrome. This guy is really...
No. That was one of the portions why the guy was calling about why he was looking for him, because he was the only person that had inflicted that level of pain on him that he enjoyed.
Right, because he likes the pain.
Yes.
Okay.
Because the lady couldn't couldn't live up to what he was doing.
I see what you're saying. He had a scar going across his lip. He looked like the Joker a little bit, right?
Yeah, which was held together by piercings, which could kind of unhinge his jaw and unsheathe people's skin from their fingers.
Do you remember? So he went full Python at one point.
Yes.
So he has a scar going up his mouth, and it looks like a scar.
Yeah.
At one point, he smokes a cigarette. The smoke comes out of his cheeks. It's a gills.
Blow smoke out through gills.
Yeah, it's smoking. He's like all gilly. He's a little fish man. And then like when one guy tries to punch him, he's like, "Watch this." He unhinges both sides of his jaw, and then he goes full anaconda and bites this guy's hand.
Yeah, and basically unsheathes the top of the skin over the knuckle.
The fascia of the skin comes off. Oh man, I tell you.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, so basically the boss goes missing. Ichi the killer is to blame for all this, and so Kakehara, I'm probably saying his name wrong, I'm sorry, but this guy with all the piercings and very sadistic man, is now on the hunt to find Ichi the killer.
Well, he wants to he wants an altercation with him. He either wants to kill him or be killed by him.
Yes.
But then Gigi, who's actually controlling Ichi's mind, sends him after him anyways.
Like a puppet.
Yeah.
Like Gigi, so Ichi the killer is not as, he's not all there. He's basically a puppet who's being fed these false memories by this man that he was just saying, Gigi.
Yeah.
And Gigi is merely trying to, he's trying to disrupt the whole mob scene. He's trying to, pick off all these people one by one by feeding false memories to Ichi and then having him go and kill all these people. And Kakehara, he just really wants to face this guy down.
Yeah, it gets to a point where he obviously doesn't care about anybody else in the movie. Yeah. And he gets to a point where he wants that level of despair. Like he's chasing his own high at that point, and everybody else is dying, and he's just happy about it. And he starts getting giddy whenever the numbers start to dwindle, and there's just 3 or 4 people left. And he gets so happy, and it's so weird because it's a complete change of his character. He's so melancholy through the whole movie.
Yeah.
But then at the end of it, he's giddy like a schoolboy. It's really weird.
It's like have you seen No Country for Old Men?
Yeah. Totally.
It's like seeing Sugar, the hitman, get really, really happy. It just doesn't seem natural.
It's out of character. It's very out of character.
But I mean, it for whatever reason, it worked. The plot gets really, really twisted up. We don't really spoil the end.
No.
But I don't know. What do you think was the craziest part of this movie, or what was your favorite part? Let me just say.
Favorite part of this movie. I like the depth of the characters. I really they had to put so much in it. I honestly, just for the outlandish the gills he was the weirdest character.
That was the first scene too, wasn't it? Yeah. Gills,
It was hard to pay attention to so many other things because of his character. Just purely, just how weird he was in comparison to everybody else.
For
sure. Him as an entity in the movie was probably my favorite thing. He was so weird.
He was like a train wreck because of all the scars, because of the smoke coming through, and because of how crazy.
But he was calm. He was
calm about it. He was like a Hannibal Lecter. He was very calm about what he was doing.
Yeah.
But more sadistic in a weird way.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of this movie, and Josh did some research before this and found out that there were a couple versions made. There was a Japanese version, and then when it was it wasn't remade for American, but it was touched up a bit.
Yeah.
With special effects.
The quality was stepped up a little bit, and so some of the special effects
to a point
were a little bit more apparent, especially with superimposing a head on a different body, that type of thing, or...
Oh yeah, you want to see a small Asian man's head put on a massive Asian man's body. It's oh my gosh, it looked like the Hulk.
Exactly.
I thought I was going to hear some smashing. I was going to be so happy.
But that's the thing, but then they would do special effects, but then afterwards they put so much time into just displaying all the bodies and with actual physical parts. So they had a whole bunch of different things. So it's obviously there's fake blood driven from the ceiling, but then it's a completely different scene, but it's supposed to be the same scene, and there's buckets of blood and fake organs and tearing arms off.
Glorious gore. It was awesome to see. And that's the thing I do like. Even though I had the poor special effects, like during some parts. Like
some parts.
At one point, he chops Ichi. There you go. He gets some guy's body chopped in half, and you could totally tell it looked like.
Well, even the sound effects.
Oh, the sound effects were gross.
It was one of the quietest parts of the movie. And you could just hear like the suction slow.
How does that sound again? God, that's disgusting. but then like he had one part, and I'm sorry if this is too gross, but there was Kakehara when he was trying to find people who were leads to find out where Ichi the killer was. He gets this one guy, and I don't know how he did this, and I felt like there should have been more blood than there was, but he had a bunch of hooks put into his back all throughout the posterior of his body, and he was hanging from the ceiling. Meanwhile, he was doing very unsavory hurting to
making
this man.
tempura shrimp. Yeah.
I felt bad. He was making shrimp.
And then poured the oil on him. Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. Yogas. No, not yogas. Massage parlors. I don't know. But see, that was the craziest part for me. So
yeah, that was It was pretty early on in the movie too.
Yeah, but I do think the practical effects, like some of the gore stuff, was super awesome. It makes me want to watch more of Takashi Miike's other films, but he has so many. That is a daunting task. So I'm going to have to
next year.
Yeah, next year we'll watch them all. That'll be my whole
2019.
And so, all in all, that's this movie. Josh, would you recommend this movie to people? Or if you do, who would you recommend it to? My mother.
No.
Okay.
I'd recommend it to anybody who is open-minded about horror movies, but just doesn't mind getting lost in a movie, because it is a lot to take in.
It is
if you don't
very
do so much
confusing.
more. I did very little research to begin with it, and through most of it, I was trying to keep up with it.
Yes.
So there's maybe reading the novels, or maybe being more exposed to more of his directing style beforehand might have helped, but it was just. It's something I need to watch a couple times to actually get a lot of it, because I feel like there's a lot missed, especially plot-wise.
Yeah, like what you just said. I mean, I feel like you have to read the novel at least a little bit. You have to read the manga, because doesn't it feel somewhat made for the fans, right?
Yeah, because just with any adaptation from writing, they leave out certain portions of it. Yeah, so they take the gory stuff, obviously, for this type of movie. They definitely have the gory stuff in, but there are character developments that you miss out on.
This is true. It was a dense film.
It was extremely dense.
And to be honest, I'm not sure. I'm glad I watched it with Josh, because I'm not sure that I don't know. Maybe I could. I don't know if I could watch it by my lonesome, really. Because it is a long movie.
I had you pause it a couple times so we could talk about it. So it did help with that. If I was watching it by myself, I would have been more confused and had to watch it a couple more times before I did this. So. That's
true. Well, and I got confused. I was telling Josh, halfway through the movie is when not halfway, that's too far. But 10 minutes into the movie, I thought the guy, Mr. Gills, I thought that was Ichi the killer, because I'm sorry,
he was the only one hurting people.
He's on the cover. He's hurting people. He looks like a terrible dude.
I'm surprised he wasn't. Yeah.
And so when I found out that it was this one guy who's very socially awkward, being manipulated by this muscle man with a big small head, yeah, I was shook. I'm like, well, that shatters my whole universe. Where'd you go, Takeshi? But so I wanted to have Josh come over, and we're gonna we wanted to do this movie. Maybe we'll do another one. So
yeah, we should.
Should we say Auf Wiedersehen?
I don't know what that means.
It's German for we're leaving. All right. See you, dudes.